Hello, my name is Jason O'Rourke. I'm head teacher at Washingborough Academy. I'd like to talk to you about our food education culture at our school. Our job as educators is to provide the skills and knowledge that will enable our children to lead full and rewarding lives. At Washingborough Academy, we put a great deal of emphasis on our children's food education, as we see it as a vital component of them fulfilling their potential both academically and physically. We aim to inspire and develop a culture and love of food in our children. Everybody has to eat, and we want to give our children the ability and confidence to make informed choices about their diet. There has been money given to schools to support active lifestyles in primary schools through the sports funding. However, you cannot outrun a bad diet. And by including food education in the curriculum, you are able to really engage children in all types of ways through a cross-curricular approach. And having done this for many years here at Washingborough, we can tell the difference in our children's food literacy. Here at Washingborough Academy, we have put food education at the heart of our learning ethos. We see it as such an important aspect of children's well-being and their health. We're fortunate enough to have plenty of outdoor space to work with, although this type of education can equally be delivered in schools with less space and ones in inner cities. Within our grounds, we have vegetable beds for every class, a Lincolnshire heritage apple orchard with local varieties of apples such as Ingall's Pippin, Peasgood Nonsuch from Grantham, and Bolingbroke Beauty, which originated from Eden Farms and Old Bolingbroke. This orchard provides fruit for our commercial kitchen and weekly food education lessons. We've also built a wood-fired pizza oven where the children developed their own pizza toppings from the produce we have grown in the grounds. We have our own herb garden we've cultivated, which supports our own food education lessons as well as providing fresh herbs for our commercial kitchen. We also have 3 beehives, and we plan to use the produce from this in our curriculum food lessons and also for our children's school lunches. And we've just developed 1,000 square metres to provide vegetables for our school meals all year round. We have cultivated partnerships that enrich and support our food culture. We were chosen as a pilot school for the Jamie Oliver Kitchen Garden project, are an ambassador school for the Food for Life, and were awarded the Educating School Food Plan Award in 2016. We recently awarded the Food for Life Gold School Award. This food literacy also expands into our wider curriculum approach to educating children about where their food comes from and trying different tastes. We regularly hold food days that are focused around one type of food, such as potatoes, eggs, tomatoes. Our teachers plan history and geography lessons around these individual ingredients, such as how potatoes originally arrived in England and looking at Tudor culture, the air miles that food sometimes has to travel, and then using their mathematical skills to alter recipes to feed more people, weighing and measuring of ingredients, and also all the scientific knowledge and skills that come with them growing and cooking their own dishes.
These are our 4 beds for Penfold Nursery. We still have salsify and strawberries and rhubarb in this bed. The other 3 have been cleared and composted, ready for spring planting. In here we grew our lettuces for chef. We had cosmic carrots in this one and some beans. And behind me we had different radishes.
These are our vegetable beds, and they're all ready to grow for the spring.
These are 2 of our compost bins made from recycled pallets. We put in here all the compostable school food waste and all the green and brown waste from around the school. We also managed to put in any paper, shredding, cardboard that's left over to reduce our waste further. We cover them over with the carpet in the winter just to keep the moisture in.
Here's our wormery. We only got this last week, so it's quite new to us. In here, underneath this top mat, is all of our lovely worms. We ordered a rescue kit from a company which came with 500 grams of worms, which are in here amongst shredded paper, cardboard, eggshells that are all smashed up, lots of peelings and apple cores and things. So that will give us some lovely liquid fertiliser, which you just take out from the tap here.
Our polytunnel is a huge asset to the school. We're able to supply the kitchen with as much fruit and vegetables with a much more extended season with this. We've now got them manured up ready for spring planting. We had last year 5 different varieties of heritage tomatoes. We also had peas, lettuce, we had aubergines, and we also had cucumber melons, which were a huge hit with the children. Everybody wanted to see them, try them, and they were really interesting for the adults as well as the children.
So we have been seed saving this season, ready for this year's planting. So our 2020 crops that we grew, we've tried to take the seed from. They're all heritage varieties. There's no F1 or hybrid varieties, so we know they're true to themselves. We've got sweet corn, we've got beans, peas, French beans, we've got leeks. They still need to be winnowed at the moment, but the little black things are all the leek seeds. We have carrots, sunflower seeds, loads of beans, beetroot. Can't quite remember what's in there. but we're actually trying to save as many seeds as we can for future use for this year, and maybe even do a seed sale for parents as well. So this is our allotment. Doesn't look much at the moment. We are in the process of getting it all dug over. It's been very wet. When it's not wet, it's been solid ground with frost. So it's been really hard to get the kids out here digging. But we will get there. We've got our ton of horse manure on the way, another ton, and we've got our plans of what we're going to grow this year. So here we've got this covered over because we don't want weeds. We're trying to do non-weeding. So this will just be all ready in March to put beans in. This is where the beans are going this year. Last year we had 4 different varieties of potatoes in there, so we are swapping our plots around. We've still got some broccoli, been a little bit obliterated by pigeons where the netting has blown off, but that was really some nice broccoli there. This area here was the pumpkin patch, and we had courgettes and pumpkins, all different varieties, which just looked lovely at the end of the year. It looked really nice. We then had some Swedes, and we had a row of root parsley, which was interesting. None of us had root parsley before, so that was quite good. We had, go up here a bit more. We then had some strawberries here. It looks a bit of a mess because we've just been clearing it. So this was an old recycled slide out of the playground, which we had planted up with all our different strawberries in there, which was quite fun for the kids. We then had kale, which has been all year, that has been in the kitchen. It's been fantastic. Brussels sprouts, which we sold at a little stall near to Christmas and made £40 selling the Brussels sprout stalks. They were really lovely. All along here we had some tomatoes and wildflowers, and then we did a sunflower competition where we grew along here different types of sunflower, and we all just saw which ones were going to be the highest and the best to grow, so that was nice. And then we had cabbages, and we've still got parsnips in the ground here, root parsley, turnips, we had onions, leeks, different rhubarb, so we had bizarre rhubarb and other different types of rhubarb. We had 3 different types of carrots, which was good, and then broad beans. Oh, and then all along here we had tripods with runner beans, French beans, all the different beans. which just look really lovely, as you can see in the picture. So in here we have our fruit trees. This is new this year. We've got red currants, black currants and gooseberries. We did have them all along here as well, but unfortunately we got coral rot, which is a fungal disease in the bushes, so we've had to take them out and destroy them. So we are going to replenish our stock, but at the moment we're just going to nurture what we've got here. We've got some horse manure around them, which they really love. And hopefully they'll give all the currants to Chef that he needs to make pies and pudding.
Here's our pizza oven.
Usually after our sats we would celebrate by baking our own pizza. But sadly we can't do this year, but hopefully we could still have pizza.
3 more of our compost bins here at school. Chef brings all of his peelings here. As you can see, all eggshells and peelings from the kitchen. And they need a bit of a sort out, they're a bit rotten, so we've got some new pallets and we're going to be building 3 new compost bins here shortly. Okay.
We have 18 apple trees in our orchard, all Lincolnshire varieties, heritage varieties, and they've been sponsored by local companies. The children love picking their own apples in the autumn, and Chef is delighted to be able to use them for his puddings at school for school dinners.
We are incredibly proud of the food culture we have at our school and the positive impact it has and will continue to have on our children's lives and those of the wider community.